Washington State the next day, so it's like that, I'm fighting this battle.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to call this meeting to order at 8:02. We have a quorum, which is pretty exciting. Valerie? Are the Margulis boys going to be here?
The only person I've heard from is Dennis Weiss.
Okay. Joe, welcome. Charlie? Have we heard from Marty?
Last night about 12:30, he texted me and said he got the agenda.
Did he what?
That he got the material that I messaged him.
Mr. Marucci's here, Mr. Boland, Miss Paula Demare, Mr. Weiss is ill. Correct?
Yes, recovering from the flu.
Okay. So, I'm so excited to have a quorum for the first time in a while. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agendas from the last few meetings?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Question,
Not in
Paula?
favor. Not question on the minutes from January. I was present, and I'm not listed on the minutes at all.
We'll amend that.
And I wasn't even late, so yeah. It was not 8:02 when I walked in,
Sorry.
nor did I walk in
And
at
you were early
8:02.
today as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I did see you on the video. I don't know how they got missed. We'll amend that. So with the amendment.
So, all in favor with the amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Director report, please.
Excuse me. The new tenant at 7680 to 8414 East 14, West 14 Mile, Pandemonium, received a resolution from council last night in order to apply for a redevelopment liquor license. They are diligently working on the inside, still doing demo. They're doing that themselves. They're supposed to be meeting with their architect today and getting their plans in for what they're doing on the interior. So they're very excited, very nice people. Looking
They're
forward
lovely
to having
people.
them. Yeah. 25 to 29 South Main was Blooms. Their grand opening was held on February 9th and was well attended. Thank you to everyone that made that. Very nice addition to the downtown. 10 South Main, which is the former Hips, has been leased to a business that is on Facebook right now, saying they participated in Clausen Fest and they're inviting people to guess what the business is.
I guess it's Charlie opened in third place.
It must
It is
be.
not. Don't put that on me.
So they're holding a contest down there just to let people guess, and then we'll know what it is. So they're having fun. 150 North Main, which is a PNC property, the developers have begun the planned unit development process for a multi-use three-story development with apartment units and a small retail element. They presented their plan to the Planning Commission on February 13th, but there was no vote, and they will be scheduled to come back for a future date.
Joan, you got washed out. There was no one in the door slammed.
Oh, I'm sorry, there was no vote.
Oh, okay, that's the word I didn't.
Yeah. So they are coming back at a future date, yet to be determined, possibly the next planning commission, but we'll see. There's a meeting with them today. No. There are commercial construction projects that continue in and around the downtown, which is 400 South Main, which is renovation for the potential Loaded Dice Brewery. 516 North Main, across the street here, the Town Home Development Building, and 436 to 456 West 14 Mile is the new apartment development, and the demo of that site is complete now. On the Main Street end, the downtown master plan update. The survey results are being compiled for a future public meeting. We had decent response to the survey, and I'd like to have a meeting, an open meeting, to have people come in and see what the results were and see if we have any additional comments. Some people had difficulty getting onto the survey with their cell phones, so they emailed me their responses. And anyway, we'd like to just invite the public one more time to talk. On the Hawk Signal that is going up on East 14 Mile, that is now out to bid for the signal base repair, and to put the signal up. And the only other thing is, let's see, we do have on other news, downtown Clausen dollars do remain available. They're always available. But there are still a few limited bonus cards available. So anybody looking to buy for Mother's Day or whatever, there's still some bonus dollars there. The Downtown Neighbors Program has launched, and information packets were delivered to 20 small businesses thus far. And we have gotten DD's Fine Vintage, Detroit Sports Collectibles, and SOZI that all elected to join the program.
And Barb's Pasties contacted us last night.
Barb's Pasties did too. Yeah, just waiting for her payment to come in, but I talked to her quite a bit yesterday. She's very interested, so we're starting. And hopefully, and I think we're going to see a good benefit to those businesses with being on our business directory and newsletters and other things that they find valuable.
This is pretty exciting because for a long time we've wanted to include the neighboring businesses, and it's been a project to figure out how to make it work. So we're in a community this small. It's nice to be able to bring the rest of them into the actual downtown as neighbors. Sorry.
All right, well, for anybody that's listening to the meeting, we've been asked for, in the past, why don't you include other businesses? We're so small. Well, the DDA law says that we collect tax dollars from these downtown properties, and we must use our resources there. So, and that means the website is a resource. We pay for things. So, being able to have a membership program at a low cost of $150 a year gets them the benefits and includes them in the downtown, but as a membership program, it allows us to do that as a DDA. So we're very happy to see people excited about it.
Is that also in conjunction with our Chamber of Commerce, or is it a way to draw them in so that it gets even larger? Because you're kind of going after the same pool, and most people don't mind purchasing a membership for, probably some people don't mind purchasing a membership for both, but is that part of the plan to include the chamber so that you can grow off of theirs as well?
They're two separate entities, the DDA and the chamber.
I understand that.
And the issue has been for a long time that the DDA, following the DDA's mandate to promote the downtown, has been unable to include the neighbors. This is the way that we could do it. How the chamber does theirs is a completely separate situation.
I understand that, but you guys are, the pool is the same, and the resources are slightly different, but there's an opportunity to perhaps join resources for some. I know DDA funds cannot be used for anything outside of the DDA, but I feel like there should be a strength in both of those bodies joining together. And I'm not saying necessarily in the installation of this program, right, the implementation of the program. You are bringing people in and getting them used to what the DDA does, but then perhaps to grow on top of that, then a partnership with the DDA with the chamber to further bring the resources they have and the resources you have together to benefit everyone.
We are always delighted to work with the chamber. I'm not sure what you have in mind, but we would entertain anything that we could.
Okay.
I have an idea. What if the chamber were to offer an upsell to their membership for, I don't know if we could charge the full amount that you guys are asking for membership, but if you join the chamber for another $75 or something like that, you can become part of the DDA and included in that too. That way the chamber can help the DDA and we'd be working together to promote each other.
You also have to realize that the chamber is a much larger outfit that includes people outside the city.
Oh, that's a
We're
good point.
looking at the small independents in Clausen, kind of like our downtown businesses are.
Right.
So our targets are different.
Okay.
They promote, the chamber promotes outside our city.
Right.
And it sucks because, I'm, Clausen Jewelers, and they promote Miners Den more than they did my store, so I won't pay that money. And it's a shame that our chamber in our city, our small little community, that won't, take a step back and say, hey, you know what? I mean, it's something that should be looked at. I don't know who can look at it. I really, at this point, I just won't give
Well,
them
the
money.
chambers are not community specific.
I understand
It is a
that.
Clausen chamber, but anyone can join it.
At the end of the day, though, they are Clausen, though, technically, but when you're promoting an outside
Joe, that's something
competition.
you're gonna have to bring up with the chamber.
Oh, I already have. I just did, when they asked me for money, I bring it up, we've sent emails, we've talked to them in person, they want us, blah, blah, blah. It's a different animal, but I'm just letting you know
But
that.
this is not the forum to discuss.
I already said
We
that.
can't do
I already
anything
said that earlier when I spoke. I'm just saying it's a shame. That's all I'm saying.
And, well,
You know-
you can join the Royal Oak Chamber and
I know
tons
that.
of other chambers, because the chamber is really a business-to-business
Agreed.
meeting organization. It's different than what
We are looking into that too, so I agree.
There you
So,
go.
But some of what they do is the same, and I get all of these things, right? They're all valid, but our chamber is small. They do have outside businesses, but I'm not saying for them to promote outside of Clausen businesses. I'm saying for the connections that they have that are here inside, there's got to be a way to give strength, much like we did a partnership with the school district, which on one hand seems ridiculous. We've always worked together, but it's a formal process to say, look, we're going to be concerted in this effort to ensure that we're working together and supporting each other with our resources. They'll bring theirs, we'll bring ours, we'll join them together, we'll have more, and we can say we're building a stronger community. Same thing can be done with the chamber and the DDA if there were interest. I wasn't looking to go outside of, any of the parameters that are set. I was just thinking it's just a way to strengthen what is already done for our DDA operations, but also for the chamber operations, and then that would just strengthen the community as a whole. But that was just my idea.
they have similar.
Paula,
they-
if we have something specific, we'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, I do think that, we have similar interests, right? We want to drive business towards Clausen, the chamber, and the DDA. So it's a good idea that, somehow that we can joint ventures together to build our business in the downtown area.
That's
Has the DDA and the chamber ever had a collective meeting together?
We used to, and we also had their former director as an ex officio member on our board.
I spoke,
When was the last time that you guys had a meeting with them?
With them, it's been a while. It has been a while. I don't,
Is there?
As a
year?
board member of the chamber,
Yeah.
there's a whole new board for
Right.
the most part on the chamber now, and we're working really hard to work with the DDA and just do things in a different way than have been done in the past. Make things more modern, which have not been that way for a long time. So yeah, if we can do something like that, it'd be great. To combine forces on a couple things. I know Charlie and I have been talking a lot about that, having ideas. So, yeah, it's a new chamber with new goals and new ideas. So, I would welcome more interaction. So,
It's ultimately just fostering relationships, and I love
think we're all
the
saying the same
neighborhood.
thing.
I love that, the extending the friends of the DDA. It's great. It is. It's just we have resources here too that could probably help
I
strengthen
think we're all
that.
saying the same thing. We'd be delighted to work with the chamber. They kind of drifted away during the different changes of management in the chamber. We would be delighted to talk about having a chamber member as an ex officio DDA member because we pursue many of the same goals. But we just need to remember that the two organizations have different mandates.
Of course, but so we have a lot of committees. Is it possible to set up a committee that would be DDA, chamber, maybe a representative from the city, maybe a representative from business? It's not on either. I'd be happy to be on it because I'm not on
Do we need a committee?
Well, I don't know. I thought this board pretty much only does stuff by committee. That's what I've experienced. So, or just a meeting. How about
How about
let's
if
just
we
say
just
a
plan to
meeting?
have a meeting with some idea with the chamber, I guess they're coming to us for help, and we're happy to help in any way we can.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Help. But
Yeah.
collaboration, right? Like just strengthening to make
Yeah.
all of us stronger.
I thought they were going to make some changes last year about the new board. And, the DDA's fantastic, the chamber,
It's fantastic.
But the new people, we did enjoy talking to them. And we were excited, and then, but it's the same old thing again, is that I really don't want to see my competitor, and this is a broad thing. It's just not just Clausen Jewelers, although I'm being selfish when I'm speaking. But let me finish, please. What I'm saying is that we should have a meeting so we can voice our opinion like, hey, If you want me out of chamber and want my money, why are you promoting on the website another jeweler right in front of me? You know?
Well, you can come to a board
Joe, that's a
meeting.
different issue and
Encourage
not,
it, yeah.
not appropriate in this particular meeting.
Well, not necessarily. What I'm saying is I'm backing up what Paul is saying, that maybe we should look into that a little bit, a joint venture a little bit.
Okay,
That's all.
I have an idea. How about if I host a little cocktail party at Three Cats, and we invite Paula and anybody from this board who would like to come, and some people from the chamber, and talk about how we could work together. Would that be a good beginning?
Yeah, I think we should do it there.
City Hall instead.
I don't want
We can
alcohol.
do whatever you want, but would that
City
be?
Hall, I think, is fair.
I mean, don't you think it's a
beginning?
good idea, though? I do. I think it's a great idea to strengthen.
But you
the
have to
community.
remember that the chamber's mandate is to help all the businesses.
I understand that 100%, and I also thought
We don't
about
object to
joining
the fact
Royal
that there's a
Oak
little
too as
furniture
well.
store across the street from us, or Dee Dee's down the street. Personally, I think competition makes the downtown stronger. So,
Yeah, hit your reach zone on that one, okay?
anyway,
Yeah.
okay, have we covered it? Paula,
Yes, we've covered it.
when do we want to have this meeting? Shall we schedule a date right now?
Talk to
We
the chamber.
probably should talk to the chamber, see when they're available.
Bring it up at
Oh, we
their
have a member of the
meetings.
chamber here.
Yeah, I'll talk to Sharon Benson and everybody, and we'll coordinate. I'll take lead on that, can coordinate a time.
Well,
for us all
if it's any consolation, and May is an extremely busy month for me, and but I cannot do anything in May the first 2 weeks. So otherwise than that, I'm pretty wide open.
Well,
Let's do it as soon as
shoot for
possible.
April.
Why don't we do something in the next couple of weeks? So why don't you shoot
Yes.
us a couple of dates, Mike?
We don't usually think that far out.
I do. So I just, I'm just letting you know, I want to be at this meeting, and it's something that needs to be said, and maybe we can move a step forward in the right direction for the community.
And then understanding too, the DDA is a government entity, and the chamber is more of a networking nonprofit kind of thing.
Right.
So they are very different, but there is a lot of crossover that I think we could all benefit from. So
Will the meeting be planned for evening, or will we plan morning, or midday, or whatever?
I don't think we have a plan yet.
Okay,
When it was cocktails, it would have been evening.
I understand.
Did you have a preference? Do you want to
Well,
participate as well?
I work during the day. I think many other people work
Yes.
during the day.
Okay.
Both bodies meet in the morning, so
See, that's, I didn't know.
that's the
Understood.
commonality.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll schedule a morning meeting sometime in the near future for the two, anybody who wishes to attend from the two boards?
okay, yep.
Thank you for listening. I know it's, stressing a change is not always appreciated, and I don't want this body to do I'm not asking this body to do anything that is outside of the realm of what they can and should do. Just looking for opportunities to foster relationships and build things and to get people. We have so many silos in this community that really are harmful. They're beneficial to whoever's in that row, but it's not really beneficial as a whole to everyone. And there's just little things we can do to partner together that will really benefit everyone, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you for considering.
Okay. Anything else?
Got nothing.
Okey doke. Events in Dine Clausen, sir.
Registration for Clausen Fest has opened up, so vendors are starting to sign up right now. We're in the early stages of planning the spring open air fair, looking at that as kind of like a hybrid event, along with maybe the restaurant week feature to that. Still getting in touch with the two new restaurants, Gusnug and Red River Brewing. So a lot of stuff on the horizon. Going to be a busy summer, so it should be good.
We had a meeting yesterday, and someone asked about Clausen Fest, where the funds, Clausen Fest is under the DDA now. It's not under the gentleman who started it. Is that true?
So Sean Mastery and Sean Dunlap started their own LLC. So they basically have taken over the majority of the operation of Clausen Fest. DDA helps with the permitting, and then they basically take whatever excess money that they have and donate to certain things in Clausen. The last few years it hasn't been as profitable as I think they wanted it to, so the donations haven't been as expansive as they wanted to, because they wanted to do stuff with music school and a few other things.
That was the question. People wanted to know where that money goes, and was it a true DDA venture, or is it a true independent venture that the DDA just does processes
We're
paperwork?
helping to facilitate an independent venture.
We started out the first year doing all starting to do the finances and having it strictly, but there were some real difficulties here in our finance department that created a lot of trouble. And they chose to no longer work that way.
Okay. Just curious. It's something that's come up several times.
Yeah, because we were planning on it being different.
Yeah, initial plans are coming together on that. Looking at, we had a guy who was running I can't remember, one of the other festivals out in I think Holly area. Kind of give us feedback on how we operate it, like the load in, the load out, things of that nature. We talked about handicap accessibility because I know there's issues with that. Which in general with our downtown, making sure that it's ADA acceptable. So looking at a lot of options for that. So,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I got for tonight.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
There is so much Dine Blossom. When we first opened our store, there was nothing. It's very exciting. Well, there was the rent shop, of course. The alley, any updates on the alley?
Just that we hope to have it completed in the spring. The other section needs to be installed yet. And we are looking at possible additions or modifications to the artwork. As it got split into two pieces, it changed the look of it a little bit. And we're looking at what we might want to do to modify again to the heart piece. We do have locks purchased, and we'll be selling locks for people to put on that mesh. Right now, it's a little difficult to reach, so we're addressing some of those issues.
Yeah, let's hope they're not standing on those chairs.
Exactly.
You can rent a ladder, that's revenue generating, and sell locks. There you go.
$2 rent the ladder for 15 minutes.
Oh, and an attendant to stand next to the rent is an additional fee.
Right.
Now this is a money-making plan.
A constable would be happy to do that.
Okay, what about landscaping and streetscaping?
The committee is looking at possible additions of new planters, where we put them, and then going to come back to us with costs to see if that will fit in. So we're probably still focusing right at the four corners and really make a impact there before trying to spread out. Maybe each year we can get the same kind of planters that we already have, the ones that don't require that much watering. They really worked out quite well last year.
We were very happy not to see a bunch of dead flowers this year.
So that will be coming back to see if once we have some numbers put together.
May I just mention that I thought that the Christmas decorating was really nice this year. It was so simple and pretty, and I was sorry to see it go down. So good job on that, whoever did it.
Oh, in the planters?
No, on the
light poles.
It was just
simple
and clean and nice, and
It really warms up the city in the winter. It's nice.
sadly, we're going to have a little bonfire because they're gone.
The what?
They took them down,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
we'll have to warm up some other fashion.
So many of them were not lit, and hopefully DTE will take care of that problem before next winter.
Okay. Dumpster enclosures. Now let's have some fun.
Turn that over to Charlie.
Yeah. So we had a meeting, what was that?
Flat Friday?
Friday. Came to my district.
Yeah.
Noah Fish was in attendance, and Piper from Weiss and myself, kind of discussing the issues that we've had. Right now, I've taken it on. I'm doing the dumpster by Whiskey Taco, Noah Fish, and as we kind of taking up their area, kind of spitballing ideas at this point of either cleaning schedules for the dumpsters for the businesses. So if you have two businesses over there, they pick a week or a day or something that they have to take care of that dumpster area. Kind of one of those things of just making sure that we're taking care of it on our end, seeing what we can do, identifying the issues. I mean, it's really the stages that we're at.
Joe, is there anything missing on that? Because I know you printed out minutes from that meeting.
I'll give Charlie good news since you.
I didn't hear about the meeting. I'm sorry.
It was,
Was it a DDA meeting? Because I would have attended.
primarily it was the restaurants that we invited because they are the major.
Sure.
Mainly it was the ones that, like, with Noble Fish and then myself, like, we received notices from code enforcement, so it's been one of those kind of parking.
Right, so it
issues.
was just a dumpster meeting,
Yeah, just a
Yes.
dumpster meeting.
nothing else.
It's the trash committee.
I'm just curious.
It's very
Looking at the
exclusive.
dumpsters and what we can do.
So pretty much sizing the dumpsters, making sure they're adequate for pickup. Really with Bloom's opening, potentially, if Clausen Grill ever does get anything in there, looking at those things of like what that's going to look like, having 3 to 4 restaurants meeting that, with Nori increasing their size and their operation, that's putting more strain on that dumpster on that side. With Grand River and with Gus Snug, obviously the amount of waste that they're producing right now during grand opening is going to be a lot more. We're kind of looking at maybe March to assess that again to see like, okay, their grand opening's over. Is it manageable with what we have dumpster-wise? Gus Snug overall, like they have their own dumpster, but I have seen overflow and they have used the other dumpster. Not a huge deal. It's manageable, but like last Sunday, I mean, it was mounted over, and so one day I shoveled trash for about an hour.
Yeah, it's-
Just to
I don't use much garbage, so that's not an issue for me,
Yeah.
but yesterday, the cardboard was seriously unbelievable.
Cardboard is always an issue, and that's a whole other.
Yeah.
I mean, it could join the warmth of our city. We could just light it on fire.
I didn't get a
That
chance
was
to
it,
check
right?
this, but like our
awesome.
was
Dumpster
overflowing on
fire.
Monday as well. And that's normally they pick up on Thursday, and I don't recall them picking up on Thursday. Or if they just had a lot of extra over the weekend, because like ours was mounted over too. I mean, it's right now it's falling off.
I never
It's
saw
going down.
yours. Does yours have a nice little garage cover?
No, we have to have a small one because they have to be pulled out and then picked up.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's
can't back in.
crazy. I don't even know how they get they must get on a ladder.
It's an art form.
It's like Legos, man. It's
Sometimes
crazy.
you have to get your biggest guy to get up there and dance on it.
We don't have much at all, so.
So biggest thing right now, with Noble Fish, with Piper from Weiss, and then myself, we've been kind of maintaining the dumpsters in those areas, just trying to make sure that they.
Noble Fish is actually contributing?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's surprising.
So we'll kind of play it by ear. We'll see what happens in March with kind of the level out. I mean, we're probably going to see an increase, obviously, with St. Patrick's Day in March for Gus Snug.
Right.
Warmer weather always, brings a little bit more traffic, but it should be a little less volume than a grand opening traffic. And then we'll kind of go from there to assess like what we need dumpster-wise and whatnot. Kind of running out of space of where we can put dumpsters.
How are the rat traps? Are they filled up pretty good?
So we're going to meet again in March after these new businesses have gone through their 3-month kind of curve of getting over their new surge. And then we're going to meet again, and then hopefully we have some ideas and suggestions and have a meeting with the city and DPW on where we are and what we see could be improved. So,
If we made a request to the city about amending the ordinance and then finding out if it's legal to ticket people via camera. Oh, I'm sorry. I really addressed it to Joan because the three of us, Joan, Charlie, and I have met several times. And believe me, it's every place I've been, dumpsters are a problem. It's just, people will carry trash from 20 miles away to where they work. My question was, I can't remember which business, was it Noble? Someone was putting up a camera.
Yeah, Noble put up a camera on the
To take pictures of people who are dumping illegal. And my question was, that's good to know, but if the law doesn't allow for proper, unfortunately, people don't get educated easily. They usually have to go to enforcement. Does the law, can we amend the ordinance, and does the state law allow for the ticketing of people that we catch dumping trash, during the day who aren't business owners? Or people bring it from wherever.
Right.
Other places in Clausen or from,
Aren't they public dumpsters?
So there's a old sign on our dumpster that has, it's worn away, but it says, public fine and whatnot for
$500
dumping.
fine.
I bought 2 signs and put them on the fences that actually you can read now, just to help deter it. It's helped. I get less grass and waste refuge, that kind of stuff, because there's a couple landscaping companies that throw stuff in there. And
Is it public though? That's interesting.
They're not public.
Yeah,
They're not public.
Yeah, because we get more waste from other people than we do
Yeah.
put in ourselves at our
And there's
dumpster.
also an ordinance in the city that says you can't carry trash from one place in town to another place in town.
Yeah.
And so that's a.
Well, I broke that law.
Well.
Just because mine was actually filled up.
Yourself in. But I mean, there's just, unfortunately, it's a problem.
Before I came to the DDA.
People either work around here, live in places that don't have communal trash pickup,
Yeah.
or they don't do white goods, freezers, appliances and other things like that. You'll find it all over the place. I mean, so it's a real issue. It sounds trivial, but it really is an issue. It's hard to solve because when are they dumping? When most of us either sleeping or eating or cooking or doing something.
Midday for us, that's our
Is it-
thing, and it's one of
For
those
us, it's
things,
late in the day.
yeah.
Ours in the
So
weekend.
Charlie has a camera that
Yeah, we can
can
see.
now view that dumpster. Noble has put up one in the other lot, so,
Are any of these cameras capable of catching license plates of the people who are driving their?
Mine's pretty good at just angles.
So you're gonna police the dumpsters?
You have to.
Certainly.
Lots of communities
It's
do
just
that.
interesting. Well, I'm just saying, it's
You have to.
interesting because I think I mean, I know dumpsters are an issue, but, you know, there's other issues that need to be addressed and, you know, like parking is an issue.
No, dumpsters are probably a bigger issue actually than parking.
Yeah.
It all kind of is tied together.
Yeah.
A little
Excuse
bit.
me?
I said it's all kind of tied together, whether it's the dumpster, the amount of trash, the enclosures, the parking configuration, parking material
Yeah,
condition. Once you start picking at it, it's all has some.
Yeah,
for us it does, because they are municipal enclosures and they are on the municipal lot, and yes, it all does tie together.
So, I have a-
But I don't know, Joe, did you get an answer, or Mr. Marucci, did you get an answer to that question, or did you?
I don't know if it was posed formally to the city about.
I'll pass it along in the city. At first blush, we don't ticket people for running red lights in the state, so I'd be hard pressed to believe.
Well, the
that-
camera, I agree, the cameras aren't allowed to
Yeah,
say.
so I'd be hard pressed to believe that that would be a foundation for that. I'll inquire.
I believe it to be probably not allowed.
But
But
could-
my other thought was,
Could a letter be sent to somebody saying?
Yes.
We noticed this, and this really is not
I don't
allowed?
think there's anything that stops us from.
yeah, with a picture of them, and then, you know, pretty soon, then the names, I think, need to start being read at either DDA meetings or city council meetings, and do a press release, and start releasing names of people.
Shame me.
You have to shame people, it's like, you know, why are you carrying your trash? That's all.
We'll put a board
Facebook
at
post.
14 Mile Road
So-
and put the
There's a
ball
kiosk.
chain.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, everything's, you know, anything you want is kind of pretty much, you know, so. I have a question for Charlie. Do you have any issues with parking in your area?
I mean, it's, right now with Gus Nug and all that, I mean, when we had the heavy snow, we lose about 4 spaces on each
I'm talking on
side.
a daily operation.
Right now, it's, I would say the last 2 weeks, it's been pretty leveled out.
Yeah.
On Fridays, you know, the whole town, like all the front fills up. Down Jefferson will fold up till about halfway down Jefferson.
Why do you
and then-
think that is that you don't really have, because you have a smaller lot
Yeah.
than I do in the back? I'm just curious, you know, why do you think that?
I think our
Can we
mix of
hold this
businesses.
conversation for the board comment? And-
Oh, yeah, sure, not a problem.
So, Joe, do you want to help us work on figuring out how we could send a letter to people who are caught dumping using the cameras?
I think that's part of what Joan, Charlie, and I will
Yeah,
do
I think that'd be great.
as we progress.
He's one of our
Whatever,
committee
yes.
When are you guys meeting? Because I don't see a whole lot of value in leaving the city administration out of it when we can get the solution sooner rather than later.
I guess we were trying to focus on what the issues are and the help that we need from you. That's the only reason we have not included you.
Because
Our whole idea is we got to cover you.
Piper, direct line to me,
Yep.
and that's how I get things fixed over there, is because I'm here. Okay,
We want to come with you with a list and some suggestions, not with just, we got a problem, you need to solve it for us. And that's the only reason we haven't come to you yet.
Right.
We're still working through it.
We were trying to get the businesses a little more involved. What are you doing? How much are you out there cleaning? What are you seeing? Do you see pickups happening Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So we're just trying to get a little more of their input together.
how long has been, is this just one meeting you guys had?
Maybe two?
Okay.
We have met as a committee a couple times. We met with the businesses last Friday. We have another meeting that will come up in March. But we wanted them to be able, before we talk to the city, we wanted them to be able to say, yes, this business cleaned on this day. This one took initiative on this day. We have been, as businesses, tracking this and we're also trying to, the new dumpsters, the larger ones were put in the northeast lot. We're trying to address issues with the larger dumpsters, Joe, the big ones that have the
I know that.
Joe Marucci.
Because we got, the
I'm sorry.
administration got them there.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That's my point.
I was talking, I got two Joes sitting together. I was actually addressing Mr. Marucci. because he was looking like, what are we talking about? We were talking about the larger dumpsters with the door on the side. They have a lot of little people that need to put trash in. We find that one of the issues that we talked about in our meeting with the businesses was these people are having difficulties getting a bag up in that
Overload
door.
the bag, I mean, you know, it's
Well,
just.
No, they're very difficult for
So-
short people to fill.
So, Joe, one of the things too with myself and then Noel Fish, both of us receiving the letters that we received, that like
Yeah.
you and I had discussed, like receiving the letters and that statement, it kind of seemed as, hey, this is your problem, solve it. So for me, as a as a business owner, not as a board member, it was like, what do I do, Joe? You know, I'm going to clean this. This is my plan of action. Can we get this solved? And
Well, I
so at
think
that
we can
point,
all
it's one of those
agree.
things of like, at that point, like I'm getting just a, hey, this is your problem, fix it, or we're going to ticket you and fine you and then charge you with a misdemeanor. Like that's one of the things of like, okay, well, the city doesn't want to help me at that point. So that was where we ended up kind of pushing this agenda a little bit more.
And I always appreciate your initiative, Charlie, in trying to be a problem solver in any endeavor that you take on, so.
So could we conclude that Mr. Riker will join the next meeting?
Yeah. It'd be
He
great.
wants to
Yeah.
probably be again on a committee meeting for that, yeah.
Okay.
We found that Friday morning worked well, so that's fine.
Often here on Friday.
Okay, so again, it was just to get the businesses working and working together, discussing their issues and finding out how, we looked at finding out how we could make things work. So,
Okay. Shall we move on? Anybody else got any joy about dumpsters? Okay. Consideration of the budget for attendance at the National Main Street Conference, which will be May 6 to 8 in Birmingham. Traditionally, Joan and Valerie have gone, so we would like to send 2 people again this time. Valerie, can you attend?
No, I think this year I can.
So our valiant secretary has offered to attend. So we'd like,
does the budget work? We don't, that's what we need to set as consideration of budget. We've set up to $1,800 before. So if you'd like to consider that.
I think that the budget's going to need to be higher this time because we're going to need 2 hotel rooms. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to sponsor it this time.
Okay.
So it'll probably be another $1,000. Based on my kind of cursory look at it. So I imagine that the budget's going to be closer to 3,000 this year.
Okay. We will have to take some money from somewhere else. We do not have that in that line item right now. So,
So I don't think that we can set a budget until we do the checking to find out how much airfare will be and how much, and they have always been really good about, you know, hitchhiking down there and sleeping in a room with 4 other DDAs and so forth.
and we've been very lucky. Mary Liz has been able to sponsor our hotel rooms for the last 4 or 5 years. So if that is not an option this year, and we appreciate all of your years, we will we'll take a look. We'll take a look at the budget. We'll find out. Oakland County, Main Street Oakland County does give us money for our tickets. That's $400 each. At times they have put in for travel. So let me check. I haven't heard anything this year about them sponsoring any kind of travel. But I can find out. We can look at our options for hotels. Yes, we have buddied up with other cities before. We'll see what works out.
Are you saying it's $3,000 for 2 people? That does not include airfare and it
No,
does
it does
not include a
include airfare.
hotel? But she said that Oakland County helps with the airfare, so that
No,
means
no,
we're
I
not
see it.
paying
It's to the
for it.
conference.
Conference tickets.
Conference tickets are $400 each. Oakland County pays for those for us.
Okay,
Not
so
air tickets.
we're paying for airfare and hotels and
Food.
meals for the day, for how many days?
Usually 3 nights, right?
Right.
And then that's for 2 people?
Like a bird.
I don't think we
What'd you say?
I said, and Joe eats like a bird. I'm always
Oh,
like,
no,
I'm
yeah,
hungry,
and I'm not even saying that,
hungry.
yeah. And if you're smart, you find other people who pay for your meals, right? Like, smart, you guys are
Yeah, we do.
Right.
I don't think we've ever put in for meals because it's usually just a sandwich or something. Yeah.
But is there such $3,000 on a budget that this DDA has? the value is
Paula,
so great?
I just threw that out there because.
Oh, I'm just curious if it's the value
but
is there.
What the value's definitely there, we're just figuring out how we're gonna make it happen. But we don't have a real budget until we do a little, this line item is probably premature, because I can't say how much it's gonna cost until we figure out what the hotels are gonna be and what the airfare is gonna be. And basically, all we're looking at is hotel, airfare, and maybe parking at the airport. That's the 3 items, so there's no dancing about or anything. They've never put in any usurious amounts. But the hotel thing is going to be a big jump.
Yeah.
To be accredited, a manager has to attend the National Main Street Conference, so there's one person.
Yeah.
I've always found it really beneficial. I like to go and hear all the stories from all the other downtowns, because that's really what the conference ends up being. It's just a lot of sessions about what people are doing in our seats across the country. So we hear things like from Laramie, Wyoming, and like small towns that are similar in our size but completely different in so many ways. So we just come out of it with a lot of.
There's no
ideas
question
and
about the value of
resources.
the conference.
And is any of that information available after the conference? Are the sessions videotaped or anything? Is it
They're
available
not.
on?
They're not
Sometimes you can
videotaped.
get slides, but I don't know if you can even access them without.
Yeah, right, you'd have to be an attendee to access them. And sometimes there's a PowerPoint, but not all of them.
Okay.
So you don't really get the full anything from somebody's PowerPoint. Even if I've attended the session, I don't usually find their follow-up PowerPoint.
Could
So-
you share the information with everyone where it is and all the details in case someone else wanted to attend that's not part of the 2 that were already decided upon? Then, maybe someone wants to do that on their own.
Would you like to go?
Independently. I don't know, maybe.
I would
And
take it with it.
I would
wouldn't
pay
mind
for it
going.
myself. I wouldn't expect the DDA to pay for it.
Okay, we
I-
can share the, I'll send you the link.
What's that? Oh, May.
Go ahead, yeah.
I'll send you the link to the conference schedule. There are sessions all day, half of the day Monday, all day Tuesday, and I think until 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Valerie and I divide up on which ones we're going to attend, so we don't attend the same ones. And our AdCots attending everything that they have.
Sounds good. Sounds like MML, right? Basically, some
It's
stuff
also-
is good, some information.
One of the benefits to a conference like that doesn't show up in the agenda or anything else. It's standing in line for a hot dog and you talk to somebody who says, well, we have a problem with dumpsters and we did this. So that the networking at an event like this cannot possibly be understated for.
Yeah.
And that's how we find things like the planters, the
Yeah.
trade booth, vendor area.
So you're saying there's hot dogs?
Excuse me?
You're saying there's hot dogs?
Now Charlie's in.
They're about
It's like, I'm
$400.
going.
Hot dogs.
I took my hip along the way, I'm just,
Hot dogs from Alabama, come on.
Okay, well, we'll come up for the next meeting, we'll have a budget for 2 people to go, discuss who wants to go. What's his face here? David has offered, but if somebody else wants to be the person, we can certainly discuss that. But we will come up with a budget for 2 people to go, and then we can discuss it seriously. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, and I have driven in the past, so drove to Iowa and drove to New Orleans, so
Is this for
that
me?
is also a possibility.
Yeah.
just
They're
I'm
very
willing to
thrifty.
volunteer to drive you guys to the airport if you need, drop you off.
For $80.
Right.
Drop and roll.
Yeah, long-term parking's up to $30 a day at the airport.
I usually get dropped off.
That's nice. Okay, board comment. Joe, did you have something?
Yeah, I'm just, I want to kind of like reevaluate the parking a little bit. I don't know what has transpired, but I want to ask you if you had any issues there.
So a lot of it, what I was saying before, a lot of our lot, it's kind of that split of, there's a few stores that do stay open late, but for the most part, all the other offices and whatnot are closed about 3 to 4 o'clock.
Right.
They clear out, we tend to get the flow in. I know they cannibalize the Twyford lot, usually about 4 or 5 o'clock, you start to see that happen. And then they, work their way down Jefferson.
Do you notice that cars park in your
I know.
lot for a while at all, or no?
Not usually.
Yeah.
We got there's a handful of people. I know there's one guy that's actually not from the Clawson area. I think he comes from Florida, and he'll spend about a month where he is there more than I am, which I'm there a lot. So it's one of those that his truck's always there, but he, I think, runs an office up there or whatnot, but it's one car, and it's only for a few months that it happens.
Yeah, I'm just surprised with, 2 restaurants, that you guys don't really have an issue there. And I drove by yesterday, it's kind of funny, and I saw a sign up there, and I don't know if it's police, but it was in that parking lot over there, and it said 1 hour parking.
Yeah, so we have the run right by the building is half-hour parking. The run on the other side of the building is hour parking. The lot on Jefferson is 10-hour parking. And I think it's 10-hour parking just off that too.
And none of that is enforced.
Yeah.
Well, the dumpsters, similar, like they put a sign up, it helped, right? I mean, someone said it helped. Was it you, Charlie? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's help.
Yeah.
But that was, I put the sign up. And it's one of those
Understood.
that I monitor it and look at it.
Understood. I'm just saying.
If I see a person dumping, I walk out and take trash.
We're on
Hey, what are you doing?
No, we're on Main Street, and we're having more problems than ever. And I've always complained about the parking in our little area. And we have Grand River Brewery that has 1 hour parking in front of their slot. So what they do is they park in front of, I'm going to be selfish and say my store. They're all day on Saturdays. And the parking lot is absolutely mad. And I know that Kashmir is having problems that the people in the Grand River Brewery and other businesses, Old Detroit, are parking in their private parking. Now, they got rid of them because it's private parking. But there's signs, where I'm going with this, there's signs that are not police, right? We can agree that it's not
There's
police.
signs throughout the city and all the lots, and we don't
Not
have
in front of the businesses, though. In front of Grand River Brewery, it says...
You're talking on Main Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
it says 1 hour parking, okay? You go right around the corner, that's my store with slots, and they park there and go to the restaurant when people drink, they're there. I know when I go out drinking, I'm out for a while.
Yeah.
So, they're in there. We watch these cars in front of the store all day. We take pictures. I send them to the city, I think you know.
Got a dossier from
Yeah, and, we need some type of Band-Aid, so to speak, or some type of solution that you have 1 hour parking. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I sat there.
Can I inject on that point?
Yeah.
Charlie, do you find that those signs help with turnover? No?
Yeah, it's
They get the novices. People will come in and say, oh, it says 1 hour, am I going to be okay?
Yeah.
it's the people that park on Main Street going, we're like, hey.
Ask them if they can come in my store and they get 1 hour, you're going to be okay. What do you think I'm going to say? No.
I tell them, fine, they can stay as long as they want. But my point is that they do read the signs, but once they discover that nothing seems to happen, then people park there for longer. I think one of the biggest things is if we could find a place for employees to park, employees out of municipal lots, that would be huge.
Oh, I agree 100%. But still, we have people that...
I don't think we can put up a sign on Main Street that says, or Livernois, Clawson Jeweler parking only.
I don't want Clawson Jeweler parking. I never said that. I would love to see 1 hour parking, because if you go around the corner, their slots are open, and Saturday especially at noon, every single slot all the way down the line is filled. Every single slot. And then I go, and it's a normal parking lot in the back.
Yeah.
And I agree, it's not going to solve what you said, but there are going to be that one person that's not going to go in and ask.
So if you'd like to discuss those signs, I think you should talk to Mr. Riker and see if they can add more 1 hour parking signs for the unenforced parking.
Well, we've talked.
But I think we've covered this in this meeting
Actually, I
every
think
time.
this should become an agenda item in your next meeting to talk more robustly about parking and parking solutions. And it can't just be signs without an enforcement. It needs to be a little bit more forward thinking. We can't go on forever without a solution that doesn't have a funding mechanism. And a funding mechanism offers an enforcement mechanism. And whatever that may be, I think you have to seriously consider the days of free parking may be numbered.
I know at my place, there's been an issue, because I know that Gary does not want people parking in the lot, the employees parking in the lot. He wants the lot open for, and there rarely needs to be that much parking for his people. So what he does is he has and encourages Scott to have the salon to everybody to park in your lot and along the street. And inevitably, we get a few of those people in our lot trying to, especially in the wintertime when they don't want to walk that far. And so, then that ends up being an issue for you, having space when you need the parking a lot more than probably he does, so.
So how do you incentivize people parking where it's free as opposed to, where patrons may pay? Or they may go to where free parking may be. I mean, that's the dynamic. I don't see how you're ever going to get your way out of the situation without some required funding mechanism and an enforcement mechanism. Because right now it's kind of wild, wild west.
Well, it is, and it has been for many years. Mr. Marucci can tell you that in his days as the city manager, we had endless meetings about parking.
So
I'm not looking to have endless meetings, I'm looking to get this solution.
We had a brief discussion, I think, at one of the meetings, again, the map that we have on the downtown or DDA website, it's color coordinated on the parking lots, and we did discuss about like making that color coordination a little bit more predominant in each lot. So you could be like, oh, I'm in the purple lot or in the magenta lot or whatever. Going from there, looking at that and maybe looking at an option of saying, I don't need a whole row of half-hour parking. A whole row of 1 hour parking, that would probably be good. Most people, I think, have about a 45-minute turnaround time from you come in, eat, drink, and get out during lunchtime. During peak hours, we probably have, people linger about an hour and a half, I would say, to maybe 2 hours, depending on if they're at a party or whatnot. So having 1 hour parking enforced, no issue. Having half-hour
How do
parking,
you enforce it though? That's
yeah,
the question.
yeah, and that's
Without a meter,
yeah.
What did,
you can't do it.
yeah.
Because then you get into chalking tires, waiting to watch it, and that's, yeah.
Why can't you do it?
It's illegal.
Chalking tires is illegal?
Yeah.
No
It's
kidding.
an illegal search.
Yeah.
What?
So if I want to get it straight though. So the DDA, we have no input, we can't do anything about parking is what y'all are saying.
We did, our last parking study did show that we have adequate parking. I can show you the map of all the parking spaces that we have. in
I believe you
downtown.
100%.
The problem is that business owners look outside their window and say, but I don't have parking right here. But there may not be parking in this lot during these times, but there is parking over here, or there is parking,
Okay.
there are 4 lots. People do have to walk. I don't care what city you go to, if you go to Birmingham and you park, you're walking to where you want to go. We ask people, how far were you willing to walk for free parking? 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 3 and 4 blocks was the higher answers. So that's what they're saying. Now, I don't hear from patrons, customers so much saying.
I'll tell you what, I will
can't
get a
park.
list together because we have heard it. Not just me, but other businesses in my little complex there. I got clients. I could put a list together for you. Not a problem.
We don't need a list.
Well, okay, so I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, there is a problem. There's a problem with parking.
Ultimately, Joe, if you want to say, what is the ultimate solution? We redo all of our parking lots and we put in meters and paid parking everywhere, because that's the only way that you can do enforcement is,
You can't have certain spots. You can't.
somebody still has to enforce it. No, you either have them all over, and we have a whole system, a whole parking system with
So-
meters and enforcement, because the enforcement is paid for by the meters.
I understand that, but what I don't understand, it just enlighten me a little bit here, okay? He's got, no offense, your parking lot has 1 hour parking, and I didn't even know about the half-hour parking, which is kind of a joke in my opinion. And then in front of restaurants that they're there for hours is 1 hour parking on 14 Mile Road, but they can't go around a corner. There's no handicap spot there. 1 hour parking should be enforced on Main Street, the four corners, in my opinion. I don't care what you do to the back is the back. We have employees, contractors park in front of the store all day. It's a problem. And I've addressed it, yes, Mary Liz, I have addressed this problem many of times, but I haven't seen anything at all to try to resolve it. Nothing.
So one of the things, and talking again on this, like, color coordinating and doing that, if you go to Royal Oak, you go to Birmingham, you have parking structures, they're visible, they're large
Understood.
structures.
Their businesses, there's so much, it's night and day. I live in Birmingham,
If you-
and I go to Royal, I get it.
When you go to Clausen, you look at the Clausen Grill lot and you go, oh, that's for that business. If you don't know the area, right? You drive by Grand River Brewing or your location, do you know there's parking in the back if you're not from Clausen, right? So how do we get that visibility up so that you can then see that, hey, there's a lot over here, there's a lot over here, there's a lot over here, and what, you know, if I go to Royal Oak, I tend to park on the 11-mile lot because I know it's close, it can hit most of the places. I have to walk. And
I
that's-
understand,
And that's the thing
but
of getting that.
I would walk 3-4
that's-
blocks
That's the easiest
for free.
solution that we have without
But I
having
think
our
we've
full
covered this
parking.
topic pretty well
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, but nothing's being done about it. I get it. I mean, you know, but nothing's being done.
We don't have an enforcement division
We can't put
in the
1 hour parking
DDA,
there
so
on Main
I
Street?
think you're going to have to continue to talk to Joe.
No, I think this DDA has to start considering alternatives to parking and having discussion to get to a solution to recommend to the council. We can't repave your parking lots without some funding mechanism. I mean,
I can tell you as a merchant that we would be violently opposed to meters in Clausen.
you can be violently opposed to it. That's the kind of conversation needs to be had, but it doesn't stop the conversation.
No one's trying to stop the conversation. I'm just trying not to go over the same exact discussion repeatedly in this meeting. We can have the discussion in a parking meeting, we can keep talking about it, but I think
Do
we
you have a
covered
parking committee?
Joe's, parking committee approval.
No, we do not.
There we go, let's do that.
That's a great idea.
Mr. Gold, would you like to serve with me on the parking?
I would.
He's
I
a
would.
constable.
I know how to park in my car.
I don't want meters either. I'm okay with that. I'm not disagreeing.
I like committees, I just.
Okay, fantastic.
As long as I get an invite to that meeting would be fabulous. You know, so, but people park carpool from here to Royal, I would. And I do get it where employees, it should be monitored, whoever said that out of the two. I agree, because I have a person that parks in front of my store for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's a problem.
Is it an employee?
When it affects my business, when people affect my business, and
Joe,
certain,
would your business be more comfortable in a place with more parking?
why you gonna open up some slots for me? I love
No,
it.
I'm just wondering.
I spend enough money where I'm at. The solution is within where I'm at. I don't want to move again. It costs me quite a bit of money. I would love to have parking, yes, but at the end of the day, this is a problem. It's affecting my business, and that's pretty much, it's not just me. I got other businesses. I will put that list together for y'all. I will.
Do you think your business would be better, do you think the parking in front of your business would be better served if it had the 1 hour parking signs
Yes.
that are in front on 14 Mile Road?
Absolutely.
Mr. Raker, is that possible, even though they're not enforceable, to put the 1 hour parking signs in the locations along Main Street in front of his building, so that it's equitable to what is in front of that same
I
complex?
think what's there, it doesn't necessarily, putting more of what's not enforceable, I don't think is the answer. I'll have to talk to the city attorney about this. Around the holidays, I was trying to kick around the idea of appealing to people's, I don't want to say humanity, but just sense of like, okay, community, like, this is a high volume area of turnover, please, somehow get the message out there in signage. Please be courteous, this is, customer high turnover, I don't know what the language would be, but that type of signage to deliver that message. Now, once it's not enforceable, they'll still disregard that.
Yeah.
But if you have something that's, I don't know, I'll ask the city attorney, I'm not sure that knowingly, hey, let's put these out there as
It does encourage people to keep moving, and it would.
The right people, right? It's all up to the person, so.
I'm not sure that's the exact way we should go about doing it, is putting something up there that's not enforceable. 1 hour parking based on who says.
Yeah.
Well,
But
But the people who don't know the difference, they'll move in and out.
Right.
Right.
I agree, however, we have laws and everything.
Okay. So we
Coming out
have,
of the like upcoming master plan discussions, and parking is a significant part of the master plan.
yes, it is.
And there are some, proposed solutions within that document that have already been kind of worked on. Is that something that we've just, as we're looking forward with the master plan, to have the parking committee kind of grow out of that, those discussions and continued public discussion through that public meeting and whatnot?
I think that's a very good idea. Did you hear that?
I did not, no. I was distracted slightly.
Sorry.
The master plan involves a lot of parking
Yeah.
discussions. And so we think perhaps we should continue the parking discussions as we continue the master plan
100%.
discussions, because it all works together.
100%.
Okay.
Is there need for a formal motion to establish a parking committee? I would think so.
I don't.
I think the mayor has to.
I would like to make a motion that we establish a parking committee.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor of a parking committee? Anyone opposed?
Don't look at me.
I would also like to make a motion that a parking committee meet in the next 3 weeks.
Pardon?
Question on that, who's in the parking committee?
Oh, well, all right, yeah, let's do that. So,
The parking
such
committee so
detail.
far is David Boland, Charlie,
Mr. Raker and
Joe. Are
Mr.
you
Joe.
planning to be part of the parking committee?
Yeah, that's how you're hearing me, aren't you? Yes,
And,
I would love.
I think Joe Raker should be on it.
I'm the one who suggested
He's the
so.
chair.
Well,
He's the
no,
chair.
some people suggested Rob.
So I'll make that motion with those people, or maybe incorporate it with yours.
You may have the motion entirely. I'm fine with that.
Joseph, David, Charlie, and City Manager Joseph be appointed to the parking committee.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any public comment today? I'd like to bring up one more thing in the board comment. When the Blooms had their grand opening, I was absolutely mortified standing on that sidewalk with the condition of the building next to it. The dirt and so to have kind of a big deal new business move in next to blight is something that I'd like publicly to ask the city to attend to. I don't know how even if you get the windows washed, but it's awful. And are we working on some kind of management for empty buildings, or can they just sit there forever?
Vacant building ordinance?
Vacant building ordinance is news to me.
Is
But I
that
did
her?
speak with the owner of Blooms yesterday, and she is interested in, she just wants to make contact with the lady, and she said, I'll beautify the storefront, just I need permission. And so I'm putting her in contact.
You talked with the lady from Blooms.
Correct.
Yeah.
I will go out after work.
What's the building next door? The old
Clausen
It's the
Grill.
grill.
That's what I thought.
And the city is actively trying to put her in contact with other investors or?
She doesn't seem to be interested in
No.
it, from what I hear, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there, so I'm wondering if there's something the city can do.
She is, I believe she has received a letter to address any of her infractions, and include, I think there's a crack.
But our current ordinance doesn't address the junk inside, does it?
I don't believe so. No.
Because
I'm not sure that we have that level of,
There are some cities that have vacant building
it's
ordinances.
different. Vacant building's one thing, but trying to regulate the inside, I mean, that comes
Well,
with.
it would allow an inspector to go inside to see if there are any problems like roof leaks that might affect your neighbor. So there are interior inspections, and then there is a fee that goes with that.
Something that should be entertained.
Well, I would love that. Anyway, it was just really embarrassing for our downtown. And now that we're down to, I think, one vacancy plus the grill, that's pretty exciting. All right. Any other comments from anyone?
You missed number 5.
What did I miss? Oh, the city manager report. I am so sorry, Joe.
I have nothing of.
Okay.
Sorry. Just in case.
Hold it on that
Are
one.
you sure you just don't want to tell us now because your feelings are hurt?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was not intentionally skipping over you.
Not heard any of this.
Is that everything for everyone? Do I have a motion to
I'll move
adjourn?
it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.